Hey everyone, in this video we'll learn different things. We'll start by creating an onboarding. We'll learn how to create a glowing button. Also we'll add a scale effect to the button when you press and hold with scale 5%. After that we'll learn about transition to navigate between the views. When we reach the last view, we'll navigate to the home view. On the home view we can switch from horizontal to vertical layout. Also we can search for an item. And we'll learn about gesture. If we swoop to the right, we'll open the tab bar, swoop again to the left, close the tab bar, or we can press on this button. We can switch between dark light mode. Right now we have this view is empty. In this part we'll learn how to pass in data to the other views. If we click on the plus button, we have here all the items we have added. This video will be great for everyone who wants to start learning or getting better at SwiftUI. On the assets we have all the images and the colors we will use it for this app. As you see, we have here the colors, we have the light and the dark mode. If you want to create a new color, simply you can press on the plus button, choose color, let's name it test. This one is for the light mode and this for the dark. Let's make the light green and the dark red. I'll add a rectangle. Here we have all the colors. We name it test. So we are on the light mode, we see the green one. If we switch to the dark, right. So we're starting with creating the glowing button. To create the glowing button actually is simple if we work step by step. What we need is a Z-stack. This means all the items on top of each other. And we need 4 rounded rectangle with a corner ratio 20. The first one, we add in stroke to it, will become like this. After that, we add to the stroke angle gradient and we pass an array of colors. We need the angle gradient because we have this option angle. We can make the degrees 360. This means we'll spin over and over in a circle. After we have these colors, we add a blur by 30. Will become like this. Then we add our text. Will be very simple, just a text with a background. We'll add another rectangle with a line. Will be very thin, just 3 with the same colors, but I want to cover the top part. So I will add another rectangle. On the top will be black, on the bottom will be clear, as you see. In the end, we'll add all this inside the Z-stack. We will have this button. So let's start with the Z-stack. Rectangle be 20. And we add in the stroke. The next step, we add in the colors. We need this angle gradient with the angle. this array of colors. For now, degrees will be just 0. We need to add a line width 14. After that, we add in a blur 30. The next step, add in the next button. Here the font by default come with the title. You have here different font, or we can use with the size be 24. Let's make this white so we can see it easily. Also, I want to make sure the text always white. As you see, if we change to the dark, now is white, now is black. So now we need to add another gradient with the line with the 3. I want to use overlay. This means on top this text view. We need the rectangle with the same colors, but it will be 3. So now I want to cover the top part with another overlay. You can use this tag also, but I like an overlay. This stroke line will be 4 little bit bigger than the other to make sure we're covering the top part. And we give it gradient. On top will be black. We need another black and clear. We start from the top and to the bottom. Now let's make the gradient move in a circle over and over. So for now I will just comment all this and the blur just to see the animations very clear. To create the animation we need a state. Will be false by default. We can create the animation inside the angle. Is animating, is it true? Will be degrees 360. Else will be just 0. For now it's nothing happened because it's false. But on the Z stack, let's add on appear. This means when this view appear, we will do the next. We'll say with animation is animating equal true. So now we'll spin in a circle, do it again, but I want this animation repeat over and over. On the animations, we have here different type of animations. I need a linear, and how long you want each circle take. Like for now, I'll make it 5 seconds. And repeat forever. This one will make it false. I'll show you the different. So now it's spinning every 5 seconds. If you want to make it fast, you can do it 1 second. So now if we do this true, we'll continue. As you see, is coming back from the 0 point, but I want it to continue over and over. And I want to make this height just 30. Add in the blur and comment this. We add the same one to this gradient to make this line also spin on it. And let's make this dark. I want to push the glowing a little bit to the bottom. I will just add an offset. And we make it 5 seconds. It's a little bit slow. The glowing gradient is very big. I want to make it maybe 230. I think it's good. So the next thing on the finishing up when you click on the button is get smaller. So let's create this effect. We need another state. Name it as pressed. We'll just close all this, make it clear view. We need a smooth gesture. For now, minimal distance will be 0. I will explain in a second what that means. We need on change and on end. On change when we press the button, on end when we lift our fingers from the button. When we press, it will be true. And when we lift our fingers, will be false. All we need is using this pressed to the skull effect. Is pressed is true will be 0.95. This means 50% of this size. S will be 1. This means 100%. If we press on this, you see, but we need add an animation with a value by is pressing. And we make it very fast, 0.2. We press You see the animation? Let's make it bigger. And for the minimal distance, if we do it 50, I press a button, it's nothing happen, but if I move 50, the action happen. This way should be always 0. So now we need to make this view as a button and reusable, so we can use it over and over into other views. If we tap here a button, we have here title and action. Press enter. We have here is action, return void. Press on the action, we can pass in the action we want, and here the title, and we will do the same thing. So first thing, we need each button have different title. We pass in the title over here. Should be type string. And we need an action. Return as void, that means nothing. It's just a function, return as nothing. But what I will do is add on tap gesture, and here we can add our action. Also, let's make it inside with animation. So now we have an error. We need to pass in the title and the action. If we go to the start view, is empty, but we can call in the glow gradient button. As you see here, we can pass in the title and the action. The animation is work. If we press on the button, so now by this we can use this button over and over in any view we want. So now let's create the onboarding. On the app you have this view. When I click next, we go to the next view and the next view. So we have 3 views, each one have 2 text and an image. So we need to create a model having title, details, image. Let's create a new view and name it onboarding view. Or name it item model. I need a title and the detail and an image. Let's create array of item model. I'll name it VM view model. Will be type of array of item model. Here we can say equal array of item model. We can call the item model. And here we can pass in the title, detail, and an image. Each one will be different. I will just copy paste my array. So I want to display all the items inside an array. All I need just in for each. We have the VM array. Here we can say item dot title. But what I want is display only the first item in the array. After that, when I click the button, I will display the second one. Click the button again, I will display the last one. We can do it like this: 0 less than vm.count. I will display from 0 to 3. vm.count, this means will return us how many items inside the array is 3. We need an ID. Change this to index. This one is just a name. So in here, right now we have an error because here we don't have the array. We have only integers, just the numbers. So you will say the VM and the number of the item, index. After that, we can choose the title. Still, we can see all the items, but I want to see only the first one. What I need is a new state. I'll name it current index. By default will be 0. In here, we can say if index equal current index, we show it on the screen, else we display the first one. Because the current index is 0, this means the first item. If I want to display the second item, this one with the dark and light, we make a current index 1. Let's go back to the 0. So I want to create a new view. This view will have the current index, title, detail, and an image. I'll name it data view. Just read this. In this view, we need to pass in the array items. So this means we need to pass in the item module. I'll say var data of type item module. With this data, we can reach to the items. What I mean is like this. If we do text, I can say data dot title. Also for details. So now we have the data. I need the current index. Also, I want to know how many items in the array. So var item will be int. Another var will be current index, will be also int. And here we can say current index of items. The items is how many items in the array will return us 3. And we are on the view number 0. We will say 0 of 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and so on. And an image. And here we need an image too. We need an image also. Now we can use this array inside the for each. And here we can pass in the data and items, current index, and image. The data will be just VM index, and int will be vm.count, return us 3. The current index is just current index. The image we add in the index and image. Right now it's saying 0 of 3, but I want to start by saying 1, not 0. Also, I want to align all the text to the left. I'll add all this inside the VStack. And the spacing between them 20. When I add the padding to move it a little bit from the side. But I want the image will be always on the center. And I want to push it a bit to the bottom. Padding on the top 40. Let's add a little bit padding to the VStack to push it a little bit to the right. So let's add our button. Do VStack. Glow button. And the action, each time we press on the button, we will add 1 to the current index. Plus equal 1. I will add a spacer between the button to push it all to the top. And spacer to the bottom also after the button. If we click now on the current index, we'll add 1 to the current index, will be 1. This mean will display this view. 1 to the current index will be 1. 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 dark and light. You see, let's turn back to the 0, press on the button, okay, it's nothing happening. So let's go back to the bottom. I think we just need to move the on top gesture over here. So let's click again on the button. View number 2, view number 3. But we need to add animation. We will use transition to move this view from the right to the left. After the view, we'll add the transition. Dot move from the right to the left. So now when pressing on the button, this view will move from the right to the left. Now we are on coordinate index 1, but when we're moving to the third one, the button will push a little bit to the bottom because the spacer. So I will just uncomment this or just delete it. I want to use max height with infinity, this means all the view, and alignment to the bottom. And let's add the padding to push it a little bit to the top. Let's say 60 maybe. Yes. So now if we're moving to the second and third, this button will be always in the same place. But I want when we reach the third one, I press next, will display the home view, for example. I want to create a new view. I want to name it home view. And here will be just text. All I need is to know the current index. I will make this padding. And we go back to the start view. In here, I will call the onboarding view. And I need to pass in the current index. Equals 0. And here we can say if current index less than 3, the items on the array will have only 3 items. We will display the onboarding, else we will display the home view. So current index now is 0, now is 1, is 2, the third view, the last one. If we click again, you can see the home view. But also I want to add a transition to these views. And we can use the same transition. Just copy this. We add it over here. Click again.